Well, hey guys, welcome to a little mini series in my podcast. We're doing a special series for you guys of a peek behind the curtain of my inside scoop training. Some of you guys have participated in it, some of you are in my academy, but a lot of my followers and listeners have never really gotten any really good education on the power of LinkedIn. So we decided, my team and I, that what better way than to actually record my last training on the power of LinkedIn, how to build a brand, how to create that virtual business card, and leverage the number one business to business platform and give it to you, give you the goods in podcast form. So what you'll be seeing and experiencing over the next couple of episodes is a recording of a 5-day series of training I recently did on the power of LinkedIn. So one thing to keep in mind as you listen to these episodes is they are a recorded training from July. So keep that in mind, but grab your pen and paper. Be ready to take some notes. If you love what you're hearing, know that we have an incredible depth of an academy that can hold your hand, bring you into our community, and help you build your business beyond your wildest dreams. So this is just a little peek behind the curtain. I hope you guys find incredible value on this.
Hey gang, Melissa Henault here with the Burnout to All Out podcast. I'm a mom of 3 corporate burnout that built a secondary 6-figure income around my 9-to-5 with little kids. This set me free and allowed me to fire my boss and pursue my wildest dreams. It took grit, persistence, and belief. But now, operating multiple 6-figure businesses as an online entrepreneur and business coach, I have become a serial entrepreneur with a passion to inspire more burnouts to take the leap and go all out and live out their dreams. Each week, I'll bring you inspiring all-out guests, lifestyle business tips, and tools to empower you to take the leap from burnout employee to all-out entrepreneur, making your passion your paycheck. If this mom of 3 corporate burnout can go all out, so can you.
Good morning. Oh my gosh. Welcome to day 3 of the Inside Scoop. We are here today to really talk about getting laser focused on our avatar, getting into their heads, knowing what their pain points are. My goal here, as you guys are jumping on, some of you are brand new, is to help you fall back in love with your social selling business, to professionalize the industry that I have fallen in love with, which is social selling, no matter what you are selling, and to help you create a legacy for you, your family, and the people that you bring into your business from the recruitment strategies that we teach you. Through what? Through what? The big 3 C's, right? So I call it being courageous enough, being clear enough, and being confident enough to crush it on this platform so that you can catch the attention of your future business partner, of your future client, in consequence, changing your future through the most powerful method on the planet. Okay. The LinkedIn method. What did you learn from yesterday? We talked about your mindset around your business. We talked about how you've traditionally positioned yourself in ways that maybe you can reposition yourself on the LinkedIn platform. We talked about your belief system, right? And how you manifest what you attract through what you think, right? We talked about that. We gathered keywords that could resonate with your future avatar that we're going to talk about today. We brainstorm what are active users using the platform for. We also began to brainstorm what you have to offer and how you can effectively articulate it on the platform in a way that's going to attract your ideal business partner. What is it that you guys really learned the value from yesterday? Because we're building upon it layer upon layer, just like we do in the academy. So here I am, day after day, just kind of stacking some core content and ideas for you to build upon. Imagine 6 months or a year-long journey of a step-by-step process to truly grow your brand, grow your business, and grow your presence online, right? So this is really what we're doing here. I want to remind you, if this is your first day, you can go back and catch day 1 and day 2. So here's the thing. Here's the thing about avatar work. And by the way, we're going to dive into day 3 here, right? It's all about ideal business partner brainstorming session. I want to kind of walk you through some mindset stuff to like tee up our avatar work today. Okay. Because I'm going to use me as an example. This industry, social selling, it changed my life. It changed my life. It took me from working for someone else 60 to 70 hours a week on planes, trains, and automobiles with little time with my family. I had a high salary. Money was not an issue, right? But time was. I was literally depressed because I saw no way out. I had my back up against a wall with the earning potential and financial obligations to my family, and I was praying for a solution. I was only 35 years old with 2 kids in diapers when I was desperate that there must be more. I knew I was smart. I knew I was motivated. I knew I was made for more. I loved leading people, but I did not want to work for someone else on a corporate calendar and be told exactly how many days I could take off and when I couldn't go pick up my kids, right? I was praying for a solution. I want you guys to listen to this because I am highly potentially your avatar that you're looking for, whether you're in coaching services or you're a social seller who's recruiting for a business, right? You're out there looking to change people's lives. I needed help. On the surface, I looked so successful. I was way more active on LinkedIn. I did not spend a lot of time on Facebook or Instagram. I was a working professional, okay, who was dying inside. And if my upline didn't approach me while shaking in her boots, by the way, she told me she was totally intimidated by me, my life wouldn't have been forever changed. I could like literally cry about it. It's been 7 years now since she introduced me to a business model that forever changed my life. I am here today coaching you guys as a freelancing entrepreneur because of it. And in the consequence, she became the 300th millionaire in the company I was at because she found somebody who wanted to run with her. Guess what I did? I ran with her and I blew up her business and mine and created freedom and choice for myself. I want this to sink in that there are so many people just like me, burnt out at 35, 40 years old, wanting more out of life, but wanting to do it on their terms. Now, working a third the hours of much happier human, a much healthier human. I'm more engaged mother, more engaged wife, giving back to the community more than ever because I have the time. Guys, think about the ripple effect on the planet that the good that people on this platform can do if we can get our message to them in a way that resonates, that they're open to hear, that they respond and take radical action and change their lives through your value proposition. Is this resonating with you guys? Is this resonating? You have the vehicle to change your life and so many others on LinkedIn. If you can get right and tight with who you are trying to attract, how you're going to attract them, and what your message is. And we're doing that today. So don't let ego or fear keep you from presenting this opportunity to so many professionals like me on LinkedIn. Because we, as a collective, I'm speaking from the corporate burnouts, the professional burnouts, we are looking for hope. We are. You just have to do it in a professional, digestible way. When my sponsor asked me if I was open to her income opportunity, she didn't know, guys. She didn't know that I was lying awake at night in my bed, stressed out about what I was going to do. I was spending many nights in hotel rooms away from my family, crying myself to the airport, right? Like, what have I done? I was in such a dilemma. I was sad that my mother was raising my kids while I was off at work. And all I didn't want to come home and be a stay-at-home mom. It's an incredible career. I'm not up for the challenge, but I did want to be a work from home mom that could build a freaking empire at the same time and show my children, especially my daughter, that she could too. She could be present and still crush it and bring home the bacon, right? Right? And you can too, if you're not already, right? Okay. So here's the thing. My sponsor, when I was like, back to my story here, when I was like upset, like crying myself to sleep, really distraught about what I'd gotten myself into in my career, she didn't know, but she knew where she was headed. She wasn't making $1 million a year at the time, right? She wasn't making $100,000 a year at the time. She'd only been in the business a couple of months, but it was her confidence that she shared with me about where she was headed, what she was going to do, and how locking arms with this company was going to change her life. And guess what? Her vision created a vision for me. And I want you guys to hear that, especially those of you in network marketing who are like, well, I'm not there yet. Nor was she. It was her passion. It was her personality. It was her vision casting that got me on board. And I ultimately was able to change collectively her life and mine. Be brave. Be courageous. Let me know, what is your mission? What is your passion? Now we're going to get clear on who you're trying to attract so that you can get that message out. What is your mission with your business? What is your passion? What are you passionate about? I want you guys to write that down. Again, I'll say what mine is: helping burnout professionals see how they can leverage their skill set to be flexible and free. So set your ego aside, set your fears aside. I want you to breathe through fear if you're shaking in your boots on a new platform. And I want you to start having conversations on this platform. Now, in fair warning, we coach inside the academy. I encourage you not to get into a ton of conversations or a ton of growing your connections until your profile, what we call your virtual business card, is right and tight, meaning that your value proposition and your ability to create curiosity and represent yourself fully is on point, at least with 80% confidence before you want to start growing your network. Because when you start growing your network, what happens when you reach out to people? What's the first thing you do? They come to your profile. So don't jump the process. Inside of our academy, our students spend a good amount of time fine-tuning their profile, getting audits from our coaches and making sure that your ideal avatar and your value proposition are aligned in a way that is going to positively attract the people you want when you begin to strategically grow your network through our strategies that we coach to, right? We don't want to just start spam, thank you, ma'am, and over here, just like people do on Facebook and Instagram. I do not want you over here requesting to connect to 1 million people you don't know with no strategy and not having a great virtual business card yet, right? We want to get you there, okay? All right. Be brave. Be courageous.
Hey there, we're going to take a brief little interruption. I think you guys will love why I'm doing this little interruption. And that is because we hear from you all the time over in the Burnout to All Out community on our Facebook page. You've got questions, you want coaching. And so one of the things we are opening up to our Burnout to All Out community that are listening in right now to this podcast is a chance to get your questions answered in a live hot seat coaching session with me, yours truly, Melissa Henault, in our Burnout to All Out community. And the audio will be recorded and you will be debuted in our podcast with your questions. So if that piques your curiosity and you're intrigued, here's the deal. All you have to do is text the word question. Again, text the word question to the number 1-833-310-7171. Again, text the word question to 1-833-310-7171. And when you do that, we will come back to you with another message asking you to submit your question. 2 to 3 lucky people will be selected every single week to be featured in my Facebook community and on my podcast. Looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Who's heard of John Maxwell? Inside of my academy, we talk about John Maxwell a lot. One of his laws in his 21 laws of leadership is the law of the lid. The law of the lid is that every leader, every business, no matter where you are in the world, ultimately can perform and excel to a certain extent. What is that certain extent? To a certain extent at which you cap out on your skill set. So some of you are here today because you've capped out on Facebook. You've capped out on Instagram. You've capped out on your leadership skills and business development skills to recruit. You are here looking to raise your lid, to take your ceiling and make it your floor. How you take your ceiling and make it your floor is by investing in your noggin, right? My husband was like blown away. My first year I invested in a business coach. He was like, I cannot believe you're spending this much money on a coach. And by the end of the year, when I'd 5x'd my income from the year before, he was like, okay, continue to invest in coaches. Right? So my bottom line is, where is your ceiling? Where is your floor? Who is holding you accountable, right? I told my husband, I said, my transformation was in the transaction. When I invested in that business coach and I almost barfed, I also was holding myself ridiculously accountable to take radical action on what they coached me on, right? It was an exchange of energy along with the currency, right? And I always say, just like my coaches do, I charge what I charge so that my clients show up, so they have skin in the game. So anyway, let's raise your lid today and let's take your ceiling and let's make it your floor by figuring out who it is you're trying to attract and what they are staying up at night worried about right now. This is real shit that people stay up at night about. How can you get into their head and provide value and connect with them so that they trust you, so that they know you, so that they want to lean in and learn more about what you have to offer, all because you locked into the right strategy and the right framework. And guys, it can happen in a matter of months. Okay, so question number 1. Who specifically are you trying to attract? You have to know who you're trying to attract in order to be relatable. Okay? You have to be able to drill down. If you guys are trying to market to the entire globe, you will not market to anyone. I am here to tell you, I've proven this method, tried and true, and the tighter and tighter and tighter my message got, more and more and more I attracted people. The problem is most people in social selling, when they first get started, they're afraid to explode, right? Because they want all the sales. They want all the clients. They want all the business partners. But the problem is your message falls flat, right? So who specifically are you trying to attract? We're going to walk through some questions to help you understand this. So that they can trust you and go from being cold to warm. These people aren't going to jump in bed with you overnight. You have to understand what they're going through and have them jump off the screen. I'll share with you an example in a minute and then be like, that is me, right? Like, I know exactly what she's talking about. A fatal mistake that social sellers make is they showboat all day long. I see it especially on Instagram, like all the flashy things and the freedom lifestyle. And my life is so amazing. And people who are struggling scroll right past that and be good for you. They're not thinking that could be me. They're thinking good for you. How can you flip that around and create hope instead and meet them where they are instead of showboating? So niche down. To me, it's women between 30 and 50, even 35 to 50, who have children, who are working professionals, having pretty successful careers, but bored out of their minds or feeling trapped. You want them, again, to just jump off the screen and be like, that is me. Who cares who's judging you? I want to say this again. Who cares who's judging you? When you put content out and there's the eye rolls and the people who don't like what you're putting out, guess what? You didn't want them as a client or in your business anyway. Guarantee. Be your authentic self. People see through fake shit anyway. Okay. Be your authentic self and you will be a magnet to people who you want to manifest into your business. Believe me, it took me time to get there. I worked in a very corporatized world that was male dominant, mostly significantly older than me. And when I first really started to step into my power as a mom in the social selling space on LinkedIn, I was terrified of some of the posts I made, but I knew that some of these older men were very patriarchal. And this is no judgment on men. I'm just saying the men that I worked with, I knew they were rolling their eyes. Like, what is she doing making a post with her son on LinkedIn, right? That's okay. I'm not trying to manifest you into my organization. I want those two women who just saw the video that I posted about inviting them to a business opportunity cult where it's family focused and family friendly and that your children are allowed to partake. And I allowed my son to do the dab in the video while I was inviting people because I wanted to attract the women who wanted to run a business, but didn't want to disinclude their family. That video got me 2 enrollments that week, but I'm sure I got a lot of eye rolls too. But I don't care about the eye rolls. You have to not care about those people. You want people to jump off their screen and be like, that is me. Oh my God, I feel like that right now. What is this girl up to? What does she do? I got to go check out her profile. And this is where your profile better be on point. I hope you join the Academy so we can give you some full-on advice and workshops and audits on your profile because that's the game changer, right? Are you a social seller out there looking to beat the summer slump, looking for some accountability to grow your business and find the business builders of your dreams that want to run with you? Guys, if that's you, look no further than our 5-day inside scoop, where we are going to be taking you soup to nuts through growing your brand and creating attraction marketing on the LinkedIn platform. I'm going to teach you some of the critical tools I use to grow my social selling business and my coaching business. The coolest part about it, it's completely free. You just have to jump over to my Burnout to All Out Facebook community and get registered today. Or you can go to my website, www.livethefreelife.co. We'll put this in the show notes. But guys, take a listen to some of my former students and how they're doing and their experience inside the LinkedIn training. There's no question that this academy has changed everything about my business. And just a little fun fact is in the first 4 months of this business, we just ended April, and I paid more in the first 4 months than I did my entire year last year in my social selling business. And there's no question, the only thing I changed was the LinkedIn academy.
Day 2, when I was in the academy, I had really gotten my storefront to a place where I felt comfortable, had an audit. I felt like, okay. And I reached out to her through LinkedIn. I used a part of the scripts that you give us, tailored to my own. And she wrote back immediately. We had a discovery call the next day and she signed up that night. So
it is so much fun. And they always say, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And you've made this fun again, Melissa. I adore you.
Okay. So question number 2, how do you drill down? How do you drill down to who you want to attract? So let's start with who you're trying to attract. I had a lot of questions here. You can make an overarching statement here who you are trying to attract. But what I have are a lot of detailed questions to help you get into the head of the person you're trying to attract. And this is just scratching the surface. All right. So here's the thing. Are they male or female? Someone say it doesn't matter, but it may, depending on your business. For me, I'm able to really get to the heartstrings of moms because I am a mom and it was my struggle and I can speak to that. Are they married or are they single? Guys, we have a large cohort of folks who have recently gone through divorces and their message is really compelling on LinkedIn about, children going off to college and women who haven't worked for a decade or two and are now in a different financial space because their children are off to school and they don't have the income they had with the marriage before. And they have a little marketing technique there, right? So that they're in the heads of their avatar who are experiencing something similar. We have people who are marketing to people who are at the tail end of just about to retire. Their message is a little different. Do they have kids? What's their occupation? If you have a specific background as a nurse or a chiropractor or a sales rep, it's going to be really nice to target recruiting for people like that into your network because you're going to know their pain points. So what's their occupation? What do they think about when they wake up in the morning? I want you to think about yourself before you were excited about what you do now. What do they think about? What are they stressed out about? How much money do they make? I'm going to tell you right now, I like going after people who make a lot of money. And a lot of people don't, but I do because I know they like money and they love to make more. People who make money like money. They've done the work to make the money, so they've got the work ethic, right? What do they stress about during the day? What keeps them just super stressed out? Like getting to the daycare to pick up on time? Are they remembering the things for school for their kids? Are they worried about the bills? Like what's keeping them stressed out during the day? Is their career spilling into their family life? Is that a problem? You know, what do they do for fun? Or what do they wish they had time to do for fun? We have a whole workshop inside of our academy where we coach our clients on how to, once they get prospects on the call, how to actually do a vision casting exercise with the prospect. Because a lot of adults have forgotten how to dream. And we coach you guys on how to systematically encourage your prospect to dream again, to help them have hope. So what are their top 3 goals over the next year? What are they trying to achieve in life? You guys aren't going to get all the answers to this right now. I want you guys to really take some time to really dig through some of this stuff because it's not all going to come to you while I'm chatting here on a live stream. What's their biggest fear? For me, I remember in corporate, even though I was making good money, my biggest fear was losing my job because there was layoffs all the time. I was terrified that I was going to lose my job. And you could flip that on its head. What do they want to change in their life right now? Especially those coaches that are out there. Some of you are business coaches, mindset coaches, even in network marketing. A lot of people want to change their financial situation, their time freedom. What's their biggest fear in life? I encourage you to take some quiet time to work on it. But know that if you're thinking about joining the academy, save this work because you're going to chew on it and you're going to get deep and build like a month worth of content to post off of this, right? And you'll get some audits and feedback on it, okay? How do they want to be perceived in the world? How do they feel about their future? Are they burnt out? Or are they at a loss with a relationship with the spouse because they're working too much or they're missing their kids? I don't know. I'm just putting this out here, right? Like, how do they feel right now? Are they happy with their involvement with their community? I know a lot of really hardworking professionals who have no personal life. So I want you guys to mull on that. We have this exercise inside the academy called the Snowflake exercise, and we really use it to begin building personal brands and building out really who you are, what you represent to begin to create that know, love, and trust factor. So why do I call it snowflake exercise? No two snowflakes are the same. So all of you here today may have 1 or 2 things in common, but you have a lot of things that aren't. And that's actually what makes you likable, makes you trustworthy, makes you human. And one of the major mistakes people make on social media or all the platforms is they're like unidirectional with like pushing one thing, their product, their business, this like one thing that they're crazy about monetizing. And the problem with that is that people get tired of being sold and they don't think you're authentic and they start muting you out because it's like, there's that message again. There she is being obnoxious. People just mute you out, right? Whereas as a snowflake, so many things that make you unique that you can build upon to create trust with your audience. Some of you are already doing this really well on like Facebook and Instagram, but you haven't really thought about how you can do it on LinkedIn. And so what I'm going to say is I want you to think about a couple of different categories that make you uniquely you. It creates value, it creates relatability, it creates authenticity. So like Gary Vee, what I know about Gary Vee, beyond the fact that he has multiple businesses, is a multi-millionaire. I think he's got 8 businesses. He loves wine. He collects baseball cards. He's got sick work ethic from childhood. He's not a native of the U.S. He helped his parents build out a liquor store that became one of the first businesses that was wildly successful because he learned how to use Google search to monetize early on before Facebook ads were ever a thing. Why do I know all of that about Gary Vee? I know all of that about Gary Vee because he talks about it all the time. He also provides incredible leadership value add in his posts, right? But the guy has millions of products and services and books and all kinds of shit that he sells. But you never see that, or very infrequently do you see him just selling his stuff. 98% of the time, he's in the feed providing value after value after value in the areas that he's passionate about. So then when he says, oh, by the way, I just wrote a book, thousands of people buy it because they don't even know what the book is about, but they know Gary Vee. So you guys hear me on this? So your challenge is, what are some categories that make you multiple layer authentic so that one day you're talking about one thing that relates to people, you're not selling anything and you're providing value. So then once a week you do make a power post about something you want to monetize, that people listen. What I want you guys to do is to begin kind of brainstorming, what's your snowflake on a professional side, right? So what else? What is your story? Your story is, what was life like before this opportunity that you have come to know? And this is specifically for social sellers and network marketing. What is your life like now? Like, how has it changed? And what is your outlook on the future because of it? So it's basically the biggest mistake I see with clients in network marketing is they're so focused on their product story that they don't have a business story. And I want to take all the way back to the beginning of my live earlier today when I said the person who brought me in was not financially successful in business when she got me into her business and casted the vision for me. That is why your story is so important of where you're headed, what life was like before, what it's like now, how has it changed, and why you're excited about the future. Okay. These things are very, very important to help inform that profile in the about section. That story is really important, but it's also uber important that you can rattle it off in less than 30 seconds when you get a prospect on the phone. And then there's the why. Why the hell are you doing this? This is the heartbeat, bread and butter of your business. Why are you doing this? You're going to have to chew on this tonight. And I want you to really brainstorm why you're in the business you're in. What's driving you to do it? And again, what that value proposition is, because it's everything that you're brainstorming today needs to be organized into your profile so that when you catch their attention and they come to your profile, they are intrigued as shit. They're like, what is this guy up to? What is this gal up to? What a profound story. Wow, the value of what they have to offer. I want to learn more. I want to book a discovery call, right? So that's what all of this work is about today. It's just scratching the surface and beginning to unfold and kind of peel the onion, right? The 5 components that inform your profile. The value proposition of your business is number 1. Your ideal avatar that you're trying to attract was number 2 that we talked about today, that you're going to have to work on more and more and more, okay? And get tighter, tighter, tighter. Number 3, what's your personal brand? Your snowflake, right? Your own story. What is your story? What's that 30-second story? And why in the world are you pursuing this business? Why are you pursuing this business? So that is what we covered today. And what's ahead tomorrow is your storefront. We are going to take what we've been talking about this week, and we are going to talk about applying to your virtual business card, which is your LinkedIn profile.
Thanks for listening to the Burnout to All Out podcast. For free resources, materials, or information on my coaching services, go ahead over to livethefreelife.co. That's livethefreelife.co. Or check out our Facebook community at Burnout to All Out, and make sure you follow Burnout to All Out on Spotify and subscribe to iTunes. And it would truly mean the world to me if you paused for just a second, gave me that 5-star review of the show, and be sure to share this episode with any burnouts you think would be inspired to go all out after hearing this episode.